There once was this system called PlayStation Vita, and there was this game called Call of Duty Declassified. It was supposed to be a big, portable, AAA Call of Duty game, a console COD in your hands and in your pocket. And it failed. It failed miserably. It was in every way a bad video game. It wasn't like the Vita wasn't capable, it was. Just look at its Killzone release. And yet Activision proved that you couldn't just hand a developer Call of Duty and say, make it portable. So when I hopped into Call of Duty Mobile, well, hold on, let me stop right here. Because I've set expectations and I might as well crush it now. This does not fulfill the promise of Declassified. That's not where I was going with this. But Call of Duty Mobile actually managed to surprise me a bit. Sure, in nearly every way imaginable, it is exactly what you'd expect a mobile game published by Activision to be. But it's also, in a few ways, exactly what you'd expect a Call of Duty game to be. And in those few ways, it's kind of an accomplishment, even if they relieve themselves all over it every chance they get. And this was the first time I've ever had an overwhelming amount of people ask me to do a video about something you can put in your pocket. So after the millionth message and comment about it, I hopped in. So what is Call of Duty Mobile? Mobile is a very alluring proposition. The game's incredibly incessant and annoying internet marketing wants you to believe that it is a real Call of Duty game in the palm of your hand. And technically speaking, I guess it does offer that. It does a good job of trying to hook you with what can only be referred to as Call of Duty-based nostalgia bait. It recreates and replicates a ton of the series' most popular and recognizable maps for you to play on. You're promised a chance to run around hijacked again, and firing range, and a litany of other throwbacks. And on the maps, the game basically offers you simple and very quick TDM matches between bots and other players. You can do this in casual, or you can, after a quick rise to level 10, play in the, believe it or not, more serious ranked mode. There's also a recreation of the 100-player Battle Royale Blackout mode, albeit with a different map. With all of that comes all the trappings of a COD game, a loadout, customizable weapons, a progression and ranking system with more unlockables, weapon levels, you name it, it's here. But upon seeing all of that, upon getting past the surface, you can't help but wonder, how does it play? Let's start with the traditional game mode. I'm going to be honest with you, the game plays better than you'd expect it to, or at least I did, almost dramatically so. You have two options to play the game. You can use Tencent's launcher to play the game on PC, which is surprising given that it's a mobile game, and a competitive one at that, but it is officially supported. Or you can play it in touch mode. Now, I haven't played a ton of FPS games on my phone, but I can say that this is by far the best adaptation of one I have played. Touch controls actually work relatively well. It's obviously awkward, it's not nearly as responsive as you'd like it to be, but it manages to lay out the traditional controls of Call of Duty in a way that at the very least gives you the option of controlling it as you would on a controller. Is it awesome? No. Does it work? Yes. And because it works, playing it can actually be fun. Running around the maps is easy enough, aiming is a journey of trial and error, but everyone seems to be in the same boat. And most importantly, forgetting the small input lag, the action is Call of Duty. Weapons fire and work like you'd expect, skill streaks are here and fun to use. Mechanically, it is COD. If you can get a handle on the controls, there's actual enjoyment to be had here. Running around hijacked playing on your phone for 5 to 10 minutes at a time is something I didn't know I wanted, but actually put a smile on my face. Certain maps like Nuketown are a bit more conducive to the chaotic nature of the game, and believe me, battling your own phone for control can be frustrating, but again, it has its moments. For point of reference, this is a game that, unlike PUBG and Fortnite, has not been translated in port form from phone to mobile. Instead, it's a reimagining of Call of Duty as an isolated individual release. This clearly gave the developers the chance to take a few liberties and create a game that's more suited, both in terms of how it runs and how it plays, for mobile hardware. It doesn't have the crutch of having to be exactly like something else. Again, like Fortnite and PUBG. But ironically, I think maybe the most fun and least frustrating accomplishment of mobile is its Battle Royale. This game manages to translate Battle Royale in a way that, in my opinion, is better than its competitors. Let me be abundantly clear here, this is not a real Call of Duty game, and it is not better than anything you'll get on console. Period. But for a mobile release, it does some things right. From a gameplay loop perspective, it is Blackout. You jump from the plane, parachute in with 99 other players, there are helicopters and ground vehicles for you to hop into, and loot literally everywhere, but this is where things get better. The game automatically picks up loot for you. See a crate, open it, and boom, you've got all the ammo you need. You've auto-equipped that scope for your LMG and picked up every health-related item in the crate without having to press a button or cycle through a menu of those individual items. Now, the game does allow you to pick things up individually, but this is a much more simple solution. Once your weapon inventory is full, you can swap your equipped weapon with a button press, and all of this is just to say that Call of Duty Mobile streamlines all of the most annoying idiosyncrasies and quirks of Battle Royale games in a way that allows it to function on mobile. As for the gameplay itself, it's good. Enemies can be a little hard to see on a small screen, but it is essentially Blackout in your hand. There is, as of right now, far less strategy involved. Using vehicles is not a great time, and it's not the worst tactic in the world to essentially just kind of Rambo it, given how much more difficult it can be to aim. But I'm going to be honest here, I've had a surprising amount of fun with the Battle Royale portion of this game. It's been unbelievably easy to rack up wins, and this shouldn't be surprising, but I think the mode's biggest problem is time. This mode is not nearly as well suited for the mobile experience. Matches can take 25 minutes apiece, and that simply isn't conducive to a mobile game. But if you've got the time, it might be worth it. I don't feel a responsibility here to get into exactly what the mode is, mostly because if you've played Blackout, you know what you're going to get by playing this particular mode in this particular game. So what I will say is it does its job of kind of replicating the feeling of Blackout in mobile form. But now that we've gotten the gameplay out of the way, it's time to get to our favorite portion of our coverage, the Activision Show. Call of Duty Mobile is, at its best, an incredibly scary look at what Activision does with a game when they think they can get away with it. What's scary is the game seems to be what Activision has slowly pushed mainline Call of Duty towards each year. Now, Call of Duty Mobile is free. That's right, it is $0 to download and play, but my lord, does this game want so badly for you to open your wallet. Progression in mobile is based on leveling. As you play, you'll level up and unlock more rewards as you go. Not a revolutionary system. The problem is, the system itself is very pay to win. And I mean that in the most overwhelming sense. For $10, you can pay for an upgraded battle pass, which will allow you to unlock more faster. But for $25, that's right, 25 real world dollars, you can pay for the super duper battle pass to unlock even more fasterer. Or you could just plop down a crap ton of money right off the bat and buy pretty much anything you can imagine. New weapons, skins, parachutes, you could even buy new colors and skins for flashbangs. Seriously. This is not a system that simply locks away cosmetics. You very much can just buy better gear. It has a direct gameplay implication, and worse yet, impact. Because you can take that gear into matches as you please. If we're being totally honest, it's on mobile where competition is not really the name of the game, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. What I find even more annoying, however, if you can believe it, is the way the game presents this information to you. Let's put it this way, if house phones still existed, Call of Duty Mobile would be calling yours to ask you to buy more COD points today, while your mother yells at you to get off the other line. There'd be nowhere where you'd be safe from the world's only in-game telemarketers. Every single menu in the game asks you to spend money. When you start it up, you're propositioned with money spending opportunities. The tutorial of the game literally teaches you how to buy things and explains to you why you should. As you level, the battle pass is shoved in your face. It is a total and complete nightmare from a microtransaction perspective. For the bits of fun the game offers, for the things it does right, this desecrates your ability to enjoy them on a near constant basis. Call of Duty Mobile is free, and at that price point, it's almost hard to argue that it isn't worth at least trying to see if you're one of the people that can dig past the janky and unreliable task of dealing with touch controls, and maybe be able to enjoy a genuine Call of Duty experience on the go. While it is not a great or phenomenal game, it certainly isn't as engaging as a typical Call of Duty release, it is good. It does give Call of Duty fans a little mobile nostalgia and an opportunity to bring that nostalgia with you anywhere. With all that being said though, I cannot at all recommend that you download and play this game. for two reasons. One, the ability to play on PC with mouse and keyboard basically destroys any and all balance, and the game reportedly has already been downloaded over 200,000 times on PC. But two, and far more importantly, I cannot, under any circumstance, encourage anyone to engage with something this predatory. I'm not implying you shouldn't play the game, I'm simply saying that I would be doing a total disservice to anyone watching these videos to pretend that nothing bad can come from this game's success. This feels like the monetary evolution of everything Activision wants mainline COD to become. And the more successful it is, the more liberties I'm all but certain they'll slowly start to take with their console releases. What I'll say is the game is fun, if just for a short while or in short bursts. Just make sure if you decide to play, that the game doesn't play you. That is it for today's video. I was honestly a bit surprised that so many of you wanted to hear about this game, but I know it's been all over Twitter and all over social media, and it is Call of Duty, and it is fun at times, but I want to know what you guys think. Have you downloaded the game? Are you interested in it at all? Do you want a mobile Call of Duty experience? More importantly, do you think you can look past the microtransactions, look past the touch controls, and find something to actually like? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, press the like button. If you haven't yet done so, press subscribe as well. That way you don't miss anything that I put out on this channel. Also, if you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, that just makes sure you'll actually be notified when I upload something. So hit that little bell. That way you'll know when a new video goes live. And until next time, guys, I'm out.